causes vulnerabilities. So complexity, familiarity, which is to say we don't notice bad things, connectivity, poor password management, operating system flaws, which is a very long way of saying everything about computers causes vulnerabilities. I tell this story often.
Yep, and the more complex a system is, the greater the risk.
I tell this story often, but I used to do cybersecurity in the Silicon Valley, and at some point you would get called in to the chief financial officer to justify the cost. And I'm sure that you all have that as well, where they're saying you have to justify your costs. And I used to tell them, you want to be completely safe, I can make you completely safe. And they were really excited about that. And what I would do is unplug their computer. They were now completely safe. They couldn't do any work, but they were completely safe. The very nature of the power that modern computers have means that they're going to be vulnerable to bad guys, because making it easier for you to do your job makes it easier for the bad guys to do their job. So it is going to be vulnerable. We know that. That's why we have security. It's also why we have policies. Internet usage. The internet is full of spyware and adware that can be installed automatically. Software bugs. Sometimes we miss things. Unchecked user input. This one is a little weird, but really important. It's something that can happen when you're building websites. It is very easy to forget to check that the input is valid. And if it's not, a bad guy can insert whatever they want there instead. Pardon me. And the biggest vulnerability is people. We make mistakes. More importantly, what we call social engineering is just taking advantage of the fact that most people are good and nice. And therefore, we'll just take advantage of that. It's just a matter of being a con man. And I have some wonderful stories of doing that, but it's just taking advantage of people. This is one of the more recent vulnerabilities that we're seeing. It's one of the ones that is sadly kind of everywhere. Log4j first came out in the open. It was first noticed in November 2021. We first started seeing it exploited mostly in January. The problem is that so much of the web is written in a language called Java, and Log4j takes advantage of the #1 Java server, Apache, in the world. So it's one of those things. If you are worried about it, and we have said this for the last 3 months in a row, contact us if you're a customer. We have a way to scan. The CISA has a way to scan. Scan your systems. Make sure you're up on this one. So cyber threat actors are getting faster at exploiting zero-day flaws. A zero-day flaw just means sometimes companies are made aware of vulnerabilities before they're exploited. Zero-day flaws are ones where the company isn't made aware of it. It just happens. And the next thing you know, it's exploited. What's unusual and wildly alarming about this trend is that these attacks aren't just highly targeted ones, as was the case in 2020. 85% of these exploits threaten many organizations rather than just a few. They're coming. It's hard to keep up with the bad guys because they talk to each other all the time.